Another box has arrived. Okay, so this box has arrived, this order has arrived, and this is from Axminster. Now you will remember Axminster if you watch the video where I buy a plane, a woodworking plane online, because I compare and contrast Axminster with a site called Classic Hand Tools. And we came away with the opinion that Axminster was by far the much better site, but was also quite a bit more expensive than Classic Hand Tools. Now, after I shot that video and said that I was going to order everything from Classic Hand Tools that I needed for my project, I changed my mind, because I do that. And I ordered some bits from Classic Hand Tools, and so we've got a separate video showing you the opening from Classic Hand Tools with the plane, which I'll put in the link to it in the description below, so you can watch that if you want. And this is the second part of that order, but this is from Axminster. So we've compared and contrasted the websites. Now let's compare and contrast the parcels. Okay, the first thing to notice is on this box, it's very clean, but very dull and boring. Again, all it's got is a little sticker. Now, we've had this conversation before about, do you put logos on boxes or not? Now, we talked last time in the Classic Hand Tools video where we looked at Lee Nielsen. They put their logo on, and if they'd have logoed this box, it would be that big, right? And we're like, had your logo, but just don't make it so massive, because, you know, it's not about you, it's about the customer at the end of the day. But I think, you know, there's no identifying marks on this box, and I think put something on the box. It costs next to nothing to do it. Make it stand out a little bit, right? Maybe there's a reason they do that, and Axminster can tell me if there is. Okay, so this arrived by DPD, which is one of the courier services here in the UK, and I got an email with a tracking number and also a timed delivery slot saying your order will arrive in this hour window, which is great. So that is super cool, super convenient. And you can tell Axminster have maybe got a little bit more money than Classic Hand Tools, because they've put these white bands around the boxes. I must admit, I don't see that as much these days. I genuinely don't. It's I think it's sort of falling as a trend, and people are just relying on tapes. We certainly don't use them at Jersey. And if I'm honest with you, they're a little bit awkward, because you definitely need a knife to open the box. Now, what is in here is not that valuable, expensive, or needing that much securing. So I guess this is one of their policy decisions. I mean, to be fair, it makes the box look nice. And actually, if I look at this box here, there, you know, it's reasonably done. It's nicely done. It adds a little je ne sais quoi to the box, maybe a little bit of expense, but I do need the trusty penknife to open the box. There's that the way. The other thing I don't like about these is if you don't cut them, you see videos, don't you, on YouTube of how animals get snared in them, which I don't think is great. Granted, it tends to be the beer, sort of plastic beer keg things, but these still aren't great. So I'm not a big fan of these from an environmental point of view, from an animal point of view, and it's just really from a convenience point of view, they're a little bit annoying. So I mean, it's up to you whether you use them. I wouldn't. Okay, so let's... Okay, first impressions, open the box. We see a lot of plastic bubbles. Now, nothing wrong with plastic bubbles, I guess. We used to use these a lot in Jersey. Not this particular brand, but this particular idea with the plastic bubbles. And we still offer it as an option. They are very protective, super lightweight, so they don't cost a fortune to send. Again, just this was one of the reasons why I changed them. Well, we looked at changing the packaging at Jersey. I just think they're a bit boring and a bit dull, and just like, and they're not that environmentally friendly. But they don't make a mess, and you can pop them, which is a great stress reliever. And they do sort of scoot down to zero. Not big on the environment, and there's a lot of them. So we open up the box, and there we see the items that I ordered, which is a big box. There's a lot of space because there's a lot of bubbles. But I guess that's the fault of this little handsaw here. Okay. And I ordered some safety glasses, a marking gauge and a respirator. So just a few simple items. And this is just a pack-in slip, which again, if I'm going to be slightly picky, the address has merged and it's not big enough. Now, Axminster sent their products to me in a new box. Classic Hand Tools sent it to me obviously in a recycled box. So the outer box definitely feels nicer. The internal packaging is nicer in the sense that it's all bubbles rather than paper and more paper and those little white polystyrene things. Internally, there's no free gifts from Axminster. There's nothing, there's no brochures that Classic Hand Tools sent me. So I think they did that nicer. And that's about it. I mean, this is just a standard delivery note. Again, nothing exciting about it. You have a great opportunity, I think, with your delivery notes to do something a little bit unusual. People do read them. They don't always throw them away. And so you can use fun, you can use tone, you can use imagery, you can put offers on there. You'd maybe put your company values on there, a customer testimonial, a voucher which says, hey, 5% off your next order. I think things like that can be a bit fun rather than just doing a sort of simple black and white boring delivery notice. We at Jersey actually tend to handwrite little notes on them to clients, which is super helpful. Just a little thanks. One of the things they have put on this delivery note, which is a good idea, is to say actually we have a bunch of retail stores around the country and your nearest outlet is. And so they told me what the nearest place is, and then they put be the first to hear about special offers. I'd space that better. I don't know if I can show you that there. So I would certainly space this around here better. I just think it's a bit too tightly packed. But again, I'd play around with it, right? You've got a delivery note, do something with the delivery note. Don't put boring stuff on there, put interesting stuff on there. Great opportunity, you're printing it anyway, you may as well. And then nothing else in the box other than the products I ordered. Bit of a meh experience, nothing too grandiose. Granted, I didn't spend a lot of money here, and these aren't high value items, but I still think there's a little je ne sais quoi missing. A little, that's twice in this video I've mentioned je ne sais quoi. There's still something missing, and they could have done something to try and get me connected with them a little bit more. So I think they've missed a bit of an opportunity there, but you know, it arrived quickly, arrived safely. The experience with DPD was good. So yeah, thumbs up. So hope you learned a little bit from this. I guess in summary, delivery notes. Take advantage of good delivery notes and boxes. Dull as dishwater, make them interesting. Even a sticker or something would be great. So hope you got something out of this, and we will see you in the next video.